Chinese defense chief threatens to attack Taiwan without any hesitation, regardless of cost. Politburo member, religion should be strictly administered and adhere to party's leadership. China's C919 faces doubts about its homegrown tag. Beijing blames foreign forces for the incident of Chinese police seizing farmers' harvesters. The Chinese Communist Party, or CCP regime's defense minister Li Shangfu, warned that the CCP's military would attack without any hesitation at all cost if any opponent split Taiwan from the regime. In his speech at the Shangri-La Dialogue in Singapore on June 4th, Li said, "If anyone dares to split Taiwan from China, the Chinese military will resolutely safeguard China's national sovereignty and territorial integrity without any hesitation, at all cost, and not fearing any opponent." He said the Taiwan issue is a matter of the Chinese people and does not allow foreign interference. Li also claimed the pro-independence Democratic Progressive Party was the biggest troublemaker in changing the status quo across the Taiwan Strait, for colluding with Western countries to contain China. The CCP claims the self-governed democratic island as part of its territory, despite having never controlled it. Moreover, the Chinese regime has repeatedly threatened to force Taiwan under its rule if necessary. Li's comment came 2 days after U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin warned over a possible devastating Taiwan conflict, saying, "Make no mistake, conflict in the Taiwan Strait would be devastating." Both were in Singapore last week for Asia's most prominent annual defense summit. Previously, the U.S. had sent multiple requests for the two defense chiefs to meet at the event, but was rejected by Beijing. Li's comment falls on the same day of the Tiananmen Square massacre anniversary, June 4th. On Twitter, the Taiwanese Ministry of Foreign Affairs said, "On the Tiananmen Square Massacre Remembrance Day, PRC generals threatened to use force against Taiwan to deprive us of our freedom and democracy. We'll stay free and resilient to remind the Chinese people there's hope. We won't forget what happened 34 years ago today." Like other religions in China, the CCP controls Islam, using disguised Islamic organizations to manipulate the religion. Directing religious manipulation in China is the CCP's United Front. It always seeks to make followers of the 5 major religions in China, including Islam, believe that following the CCP and studying Marxism and Xi Jinping's thoughts, which are atheistic treatises, is necessary. The United Front has molded the so-called Chinese Muslim Association to force Muslims to join so that it is easier to control. According to Bitter Winter, Wang Huning, a member of the CCP's Standing Committee of the Politburo, during the 70th anniversary of the Chinese Muslim Association's founding, did not hesitate to say that Chinese Islam should be Sinicized. Wang also said the association should guide Muslims to study and implement Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era and the spirit of the 20th National Congress of the CCP. Wang recommends that religion in China should be strictly administered under the banner of socialism. Lectures and other forms of teaching to believers should be adjusted accordingly. He added that mosques should guide the majority of Islamic circles to adhere to the party's leadership, strengthen the confidence and determination to listen to and follow the party's words, and cooperate with the party's central committee in terms of ideology, politics, and actions. The Politburo member noted the CCP hopes that the China Islamic Association will continue to uphold the leadership of the party, conscientiously implement the decision-making and deployment of the party's Central Committee on Religious Work, and focus on the main line of the Sinicization of Islam in the country, around the implementation of the spirit of the 20th National Congress of the Communist Party of China and the spirit of the National Religious Work Conference. China is touting its first large homegrown passenger jet, C919, but questions are raised on how much of the plane is made in China. The C919 is developed by the Chinese state-backed aerospace manufacturer Commercial Aircraft Corporation of China, or COMAC. It's believed to be a new competitor to the Airbus A320 and the Boeing B737. and is hailed as a solution to reduce China's dependence on foreign airplanes for its aviation industry. However, experts told CNN the C919 might well prove the opposite. They argue that most parts of the plane are imported from overseas. Even though state media claims that around 40% of the model's components came from outside China, they said the actual figure might be higher. Scott Kennedy, a senior advisor and trustee chair in China Business and Economics at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, or CSIS, said, "The C919 is primarily a non-Chinese airplane with Chinese paint on it. It is usual for manufacturers to obtain equipment for their planes from various countries." Still, Kennedy said the C919 is different in that hardly any of the things that enable it to fly are from China. In a breakdown of the leading suppliers of the C919's components, the CSIS estimated that nearly 90% of the C919's leading or large-scale component suppliers were from North America and Europe, with only 10% coming from China and other Asian countries. Of the 14 key suppliers from China, 7 are Chinese foreign joint ventures. The report was released in 2020, and there's a possibility that the proportion has changed since then. However, Kennedy argued that it could be improbable considering how hard it would be to switch suppliers during the aviation certification process. It's debatable that any country today can claim to build an aircraft entirely with domestically produced components, but the substantial amount of imported parts is challenging China's ambitions of independence from the West. COMAC could be on the verge of being deprived from American suppliers if Washington finds national security threats from it. The US has already banned investments in the firm for its close ties with the Chinese military since 2021. This year, several lawmakers are urging the Commerce Department to add it to the Military End User, or MEU list, citing COMAC's attempts to acquire dual-use aerospace technologies. As per an April letter to the Commerce Department, Senators Marco Rubio and Rick Scott stated, "Given the CCP's commitment to acquire dual-use aerospace technologies through trade, as well as forced joint ventures and partnerships, these firms, and U.S. national security by extension, are at risk." The wheat harvesting season in Nanyang City, Hunan Province, one of the leading wheat-producing areas in China, is in full swing. However, heavy rain has occurred in large areas of the province, seriously affecting regular wheat harvesting. When local farmers hired 100 harvesters from nearby areas to assist in harvesting, traffic police stopped them at Tanghe County's toll station. They said these harvesters were over height, over width, overweight, and unlicensed operation. These harvesters were confiscated for up to 7 days. This interruption has caused the wheat to germinate. The incident sparked outrage among netizens. To shirk responsibility, Chinese official media even said this was caused by foreign forces. Regarding this, some netizens asked, "So can you tell us the real reason why the harvesters were not allowed to pass the highway?" Whenever something bad happens, they don't investigate to see whether it's true or not, nor consider whether there are any loopholes, but immediately exclaim, "It must be done by foreign forces." Does this have anything to do with foreign forces? Foreign forces are so busy nowadays. They have more and more business to do. Are foreign forces stationed in our Hunan province? You may be shameless, but please have a bottom line. According to China's Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Affairs, as of 5 p.m. on May 31st, the country had harvested about 2.9 million hectares of wheat. This time in previous years was usually the end of the wheat harvesting season. However, due to continuous rain, Linchuan County, Anhui Province, known as China's most populous county, has only about 107,000 hectares of wheat this year.